Hi, thank you for joining me, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me. Now, feeling into what I'm feeling at the moment. So if I'm feeling it, then collectively it's out there. And I'm feeling kind of what I've been feeling. So anger, betrayal, mistrust, in some ways kind of like trapped in a maze, trying to get out of it. And this has brought up things in the body, solar plex. For other people it may bring up something more localised somewhere else in the body, maybe sacral, around the head area. I see one area which is the very, very top vertebrae. So it's the one where your head is placed on top of the spine. So if C1 is out of alignment and not communicating and working with C2, if your spine is out of alignment, then feeling connected, tapped in, tuned in is going to feel, you're going to feel disconnected in some ways. So you may have moments where you feel loneliness. So for those of you that are sensitive to energies and things like that, you'll have been feeling these way back, and the betrayal and mistrust and everything else, you'll get it and you'll know about it. However, I feel like this is more for the collective. So these are for the ones that are new to the betrayals and to the mistrust, and that there's going to be massive, well, if I'm feeling it in the collective, I know there's going to be massive switch ons to these emotional elements. Lots of fire. So with that comes potentially blame, and we feel that in the solar plex blame game. I feel that there's going to be coming to light inequalities, and this is definitely coming up about the financial sectors, and it'll be anger if those that are feeling in lack, well, why am I in lack? And it's potentially, where is it that others have placed themselves on top for personal gain, and literally has not given a thought to taking from somebody who, say, can't really afford it or hasn't got as much, but they're quite happily, without conscience, taking. So I've got a feeling that this is going to start coming up in those people. Yeah, so a prick of conscience is going to start coming up in these people, whether they kind of like have experiences that they come against where it may make them feel a little bit guilty. So that'll come up in eye conditions. So wherever a person has overpowered another person. So this is, the rebalance of the lizard brain. There's definitely some kind of like real creative dragon kundalini energies coming in as well. So I'll get onto that as well. So the dragon DNA upgrades. So if you worked with dragons before, for those of you that have done that, call in the dragons, because they will help you neutralize some of these emotions. So nature, your nature dragons, get out into nature, lie on the grass, sit on the grass, go for a walk in the trees, whatever it is, to help. So nature will help neutralize some of this fire, some of these feelings of anger, betrayal and mistrust. So for anyone that has been in lizard brain for survival and has to be on top, otherwise, they're dead. And this is an old belief system that is being cleared out. So this will help bring in more shared wealth, more equality. So they'll be feeling it in the head. They'll be feeling it around the eyes. They may have eye infections. They may have swollen eyes. They may have even the beginnings of glaucoma. And this is the thing, isn't it? What is it that I don't want to see within myself. So again, it's kind of like there's no judgments. It's just that we're going from a 3D perspective reality to a 5D perspective reality, where it's just that the paradigms, belief systems are just different, and it's just a new way of being. That's it. There's no judgments around how we've been, where we're going. It just is, you know. It's not good, bad, right or wrong, just is. But there's just going to be a more redistribution of financial wealth. So again, kind of like this is a good time to really feel your worth. So there may be experiences, so if we're in lack as well, we're a person in lack, so there may be kind of like experiences where we experience a narcissistic energy from a relative, from a friend, something like that, and you literally just feel drained and empty around them energetically, and you have to spend that time on your own to recharge your batteries, to just even have that little bit of engagement in somebody else's energy. And you'll be feeling anger, resentment towards them for taking your energy. However, this is a misbelief, because nobody can take our energy. We can only choose to give it, and we have chosen to give it in a 3D contracts, just solely to learn from. So this is why there's no judgment against any of this, that in some way we've agreed to the greed and the lack just to purely experience it. However, from the 5D paradigms and perspectives, a new way of being and living, that's not a paradigm. You know, there's more equality. So kind of like women will be angry at the moment of how they've been treated, say, in workplaces and even the home place. There'll be men feeling potentially guilty. So they may have eye problems at the moment because, you know, they've placed dominant energy. So anyone that is placing a dominant energy over another at the moment, again, you may feel it in the eyes, crunchy neck. It may even come lower down the spine as well. So kind of like at the vertebrae, that's just kind of like at the thoracic meets cervical. No, it's not cervical, it's lumbar. So it's kind of like the bottom of the middle of your back, so to speak. So if you go right down the middle of your spine to the middle of your back, it's just a little bit lower. So it's kind of like just above the kidney space, ironically. So kind of like if you fear being underneath, then I will be dominant to be on top. But there again, when you are dominating another person, that's not within the realms of the 5D paradigm perspectives. So it'll come up in your body as it's in the path of love in the 5D paradigm. So the dragon energy and the fire energy, you'll be feeling thirsty. So you'll be wanting to just drink loads of water at the moment as well. So again, kidneys may feel dry, you know, giving a heat. So if kidneys are feeling dry, then potentially your whole body may feel dry. So you may feel a little bit achy. And again, kind of like when the body is feeling achy, it's literally the sinews separated from the bones, because the mind is going in one direction and the body is going in another direction, and your body is always holding the truth. Your mind is always holding the bullshit paradigms or bullshit belief systems. So never follow your mind, always follow the body. What is the body saying? If it's a little bit out of alignment right now, or it's feeling crunchy, or it's kind of really nurture yourself, nurture, drink plenty of water. Foods may, you may have lost your appetite a little bit at the moment as well. And there may be foods kind of like that you've eaten before, and it's kind of like, I can't eat those right now. So you may want to detox or really kind of clean up your diet. So avoiding sugar, wheat, really good, because they all feed bacteria. So if you've got any infections that need a little bit of nurture, then avoiding sugar and wheat, really good. Avoiding the caffeines unless you've got some say bowel stuff going on. So sometimes just a little bit of coffee, so say like one coffee kind of like in the week, and that's it, will help clear the bowel. But other than that, avoid it. Vitamin C can be really, really useful as well to help clear the bowel. So again, the bowel will hold on excrement if we are feeling angry and resentful about someone or something. So let it go, literally let it go. So there's certain foods and certain minerals that can help us let go. So Mother Nature's good old recipes, so your prunes, your seeds, nuts, walnuts, vitamin B, good for belly and brain. So your brain may be a little bit kind of like just foggy as well at the moment because your digestive system may be out. So there is a mass clearing at the moment, and so a lot of the collective will be just feeling into the anger and the resentment and the inequality, whereas those of us that have felt it for a while, we will be helping alchemize all of those emotions for the collective. You've already done the work, you already know how to do it. You've already had a Kundalini experience at one point, and have gained your health back from it and gained a neutrality back from it. So just do what you've done there, which would have been your detox, drinking plenty of water, rest, nature, meditations. You know how to do this. You've already worked with dragon energy, which neutralizes all these things. Water, when we are drinking our water, affirmations, these 3 words: love, trust, dragons. Dragons neutralise it. And I'm going, I'll go simply as I said those 3 words: love, trust, dragons. Love, trust, dragons. So words hold energy. So empower yourself by using your words. Your throat, I think, is coming up as well for those alchemising the collective. So throat as well for me on a personal level. Is this collective too? No. So this was me personal bit. Should I mention it? Yes. So some of you may be feeling the same thing as well. So for me on a personal level, throat was coming up, and it was confidence in speaking up for myself, confidence in sticking up for myself. So I know many of you as well, you know, that you may be holding a karmic. Is this collective too? Collective too. So again, it's alchemising it for those in the collective that have held this experience as well, where they haven't spoken up for themselves. So kind of like maybe you've just taken the wages that were given and never actually asked or dared ask for a pay rise in case, you know, your boss was a little bit shitty with you, or even fired you, and you know you've got kids and a mortgage. So this might be the time. And when you think about inflation, you know, I bought a house £28,000 when I was 19. The average house price now is £200,000. Go figure. And then when I speak to people on average salaries, there's not much difference in the raise in salaries. There's definitely not the same percentage of house price values to increase in wages. It's definitely out of alignment. So somebody is skimming off somewhere. You know, it don't take, I mean, you know, I can't be bothered doing maths, to be honest. I prefer, you know, frequency and colours, but I do like numerology. But that don't take, you know, you don't take an accountant to work that out. That's something somewhere is skimming off the top. And we're working this out, you know, and with everything that is going up, you know, you go to the supermarket now and it's crazy. You know, things are 4 times as much as they were. Olive oil, wow, £7.50, you know, and that used to be maybe £3. So you know, that's way over half. You know, it's just getting crazy, and it may be kind of like we use more localized foods. You know, we used to kind of like cook everything in lard years gone by, but you know, since the, you know, veggie kind of like thing, you know, lard has gone out the window. However, in the UK, you know, we don't have olive trees and we do not have coconut trees. So again, it's using the oils that are available to where we live locally. And it could be vegetable oil as well, so it doesn't have to be lard, it could be vegetable oil. But we know kind of like with the vegetable oil, you know, it's all the pesticides that you use in the veggies. So, you know, you've literally got to bless the heck out of everything that we are consuming and putting in the body. So I'm hoping this is giving some practical and clarification on what we are receiving. So those of you that have worked with Dragon Energy, you will be receiving upgrades, or you will be invited to receive upgrades. And you, at some, if you'll feel it, if you are, just say yes if you're invited, if you want to receive the upgrade, basically. But if you've done it before and you've done this work before, and you're receiving the upgrade, then you've already given an unspoken permission from the heart. But do it also from the consciousness. And just feel it, because that's how we heal it. So feel the mistrust, feel the anger, but look for where you may be feeling the need to dominate another, to be on top. You know, this is the energy that we are choosing to step back from. So the way we step back from that energy and bring in the new is faith. So faith is, I can see the light in myself and others. So yeah, even though the human beings have wanted to be on top, or other beings rather, not just humans, have wanted to be on top and be the dominant one to feel safe. Okay, yeah, they're still feeling safe because they still feel like they're on top. Watch this space. Watch this space. There's just going to be a real shift. You know, people power. And it's not taking dominance or being on top. It's just a new distribution of wealth. Those that have share. You know, kind of like your fancy houses and your fancy cars will no longer resonate, because the 5D perspective as well is, it serves me, but it also serves the collective. So even if you've got like a fancy house or a fancy car or whatever it is, it's kind of like, well, how can I use this in service? So again, kind of like, yeah, so it will get to the point where everyone will be in service. So this is the point of no decision is made alone. Every decision is made with the universe. That wasn't the case in 3D. This is why in 3D we felt bouts of loneliness and being alone. And it's like I was only saying to my husband last night, just before we went to bed, that I was making tea for everyone. And I felt alone, just making tea, you know. Nobody was willing to help a hand. Everyone was just doing their own thing. And, you know, just let everyone know that tea was ready, and kind of like, you know, people ignored it. And I thought, well, it does make you feel like you just want to be on your own, be independent, just look after you for a while. Let others look after themselves. But it's because everyone is feeling the betrayal from everyone else. Where is it that being betrayed? So everyone is feeling into this betrayal. Everyone is feeling this mistrust. So for those of you that are feeling it right now, it's just a reminder from the universe. I see you, and here to hold your hand. And you're not alone, ever. So just be still and tap into that divine love again. See the light in yourself and the light in others. What I did as well was a lovely meditation as well. And it was a 13 pillar of light meditation. I'll try and put a link in the descriptions. So it was a 13 pillar of light meditation, and it put 13 pillars of light around my home to protect it. For those of you that have done the pillar of light down your own body and yourselves, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those of you that are the alchemists amongst us, you'll know, you'll be familiar with this. So you use that pillar, but 13 of them around your home, and you literally do a cleanse and a sealing. And it was really funny, but I'm laid in there in bed doing this, and literally as I'm going through rooms, clearing with light through rooms, it literally sounded like something leaving. And you know when something leaves really quickly and scuttles away, that you knock something over. And literally as I'm doing it, and my husband's laid beside of it, and I'm actually vocalising, I'm speaking the clearing as well, and my husband heard it as well as I was doing a certain room, kind of like something left, shall we say. So dark entities. Now, this isn't a fear-mongering thing or anything else, but this is where you use your throat, use your voice to protect yourself, to stick up for yourself. So, you know, these dark entities, think of them this way: send them some love, which will absolutely shrivel them into oblivion. That's the exorcism. Send them love and thank you and grace, because you allowed me to come into my command mode as creator to say, no, not contracting to you, leave now. So this is what you can do as well. So again, if you're feeling a little bit low in energy or discombobulated, because sometimes a narcissistic or a person with narcissistic behavioural traits, beautiful, they're all teachers, great, send them love, but you don't have to be in their vortex right now. So if you want to spend time alone, this is the reason. But it's okay. It may lift past, or they'll just leave your experience in some way, shape or form. So they may be, shall we say, inviting and magnetic to certain kind of like dark entities right now. So if you're around them and you're a little bit, you know, you're around them a little bit much, and you start to feel that low energy, and you start to feel your solar plexus starts gurgling, you know, or you'll just feel tired when you come out drained. So you might have some Klingons, so to speak, Klingons on starboard bound. You know, maybe that was the symbology. So it's literally use your voice, command it, empower yourself, and this is the, you know, the beautiful creation of it, that it allows us to be in a state of being that commands the creator within us. So if you're feeling tired, low energy, and some of these dark entities will kind of like stick in certain chakras as well. Again, I'm finding kind of like the C1 chakra seems to be a little bit magnetic for these entities, which is great. It will start to put kind of like negative thoughts in your head about people or things or places or situations, which is really interesting. So again, if you've got monkey mind and you're just thinking negatively about things, could be a sign that you've got some on board. Don't worry about it, don't fear it, they're nothing to, you know, they are part of you creating it in order for you to learn something. So it's kind of like not having it, not doing it, leave now, not contracting to it. My will be done, my will. And the power and the glory is mine, and heaven and earth will be created and made by me. Thank you very much. So again, you know, can you see how even dark entities can really place us in a place of empowerment? And it's not that we're dominating these dark entities, it's because we are exercising them and sending them back to love source. So how is that being domineering, sending them back to the most beautiful place in existence? So, you know, so for those of you that worry about, oh well, if I send them away, where am I sending them to? You're sending them back to love. back to their creation, back to their endings, so 0 point field where everything is created and ends in that continuum. So you're saying kind of like, no, that energy is going to be transformed into something else, and it's love, but just pure frequency love rather than a lower frequency. It's just pure love. So the dark and the light exist simultaneously. We're just learning to weave the light in the dark, that's all. But there's nothing to fear, there's nothing that can harm you. You might feel a little bit tired, but tap in, tune in, switch on, which is really difficult if you see one is out. So again, this is why I'm offering an invitational to this information. The truth is, whatever you make it and whatever it is you believe it, take it or leave it. If it helps, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So again, if you're thinking dark entities, then potentially, you're creating them as well. That's great, brilliant. It reminds you of the creator within, but it also means that you can exercise and uncreate, or send back to the love of source and alchemize it to a higher, purer frequency. You are the creator. Remind you of who you are and what you are. Pure frequency love. So dark entities, jinns, low vibrational energy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Okay, so I read somewhere about going out after dark can invite dark entities. Is this true? No. So again, I did the kinesiology, asked my higher self, is this true? So no. Okay. Interesting. So this is created by man as a form of dominance. So the dark entities are actually with the individual who's being the domineering factor, but they fear the other person who isn't in the domineering energy. So hence they domineer in fear that, but it's that person in dominance that is actually holding these dark entities, which is really interesting. Does any sexual orientation affect these dark entities entering into us? No. So even your sexual orientation has no effect on these dark entities. The effect that has on these dark entities is if you are with individuals that are energetically parasitic, meaning they are not tapping into source, they are not regenerating and energizing, or asking in themselves to then, so we ask in the left, we give with the right. So again, kind of like, what is it that we're doing day to day in our activities that we can ask for the energy to give the energy. So again, if you are a person that is just asking and just receiving and not giving in any way, shape or form, just squirreling that way, or just keeping it all to yourself, or being greedy with energy, with finances, with anything, you're gonna get these dark entities that are literally, you're going to invite it that way. So the greed is going to invite, so you'll feel it around your sacral area, kidneys, reproductive systems, which is interesting. If anyone has got any other questions around dark entities, about the truth about dark entities and why we attract them, more information. I mean, I've given you the information how to rid yourself of them. So again, greed could be, so if you are greedy, then you can do some asking, am I holding dark entities? Where is it that I can give? Energetically, financially, whatever. Where is it that I can give? If you've been around a person that is literally sucking you dry, you're going to struggle to give, so then you're going to feel guilty about not being able to give. So again, it's choosing who we are around. So if you're wanting to feel like you need to be away from people at the moment and you just need more space alone, then potentially, there's some greed potentially in the sacral area around that person. If you are an empath, you're going to feel, you're going to take on board and start alchemizing for this person unless you agree not to. And this is the thing as an empath, is you can agree not to hold space for another person's karma. Okay, how do we deal with this? Okay, so to protect yourself from this, you can take the space, don't feel guilty about it, take some space away from that person and see how you feel. You know, if you are feeling more energized spending time apart from this person, then they've got something going on. So what you can do, because you may be feeling guilty about not being around this person, what you can do mainly is forgive yourself. And the other one is send them love. Send them love over your respect boundary, because then we're still adding love into that vortex and field. So wherever we add love to anything, it raises the frequency straight away of it. Pure love raises the frequency straight away. So again, where can I add love? To me, to myself. So for me personally, it was speaking up and being able to stick up for myself. So interestingly, I may have experiences that allow me to stick up for myself. So do you know what? All your hates and slaters, that I don't care. So again, that will be another way of experiencing that to learn from it. So again, we manifest things to learn from, and we'll manifest things that we fear in order to no longer fear it. But yeah, finances, or the gold thing. There's a thing coming up about gold, about, I think somebody's told me that they found a bacteria or something that produces gold. So from my higher self's perspective, and in my truth, that when I've asked, apparently it's bullshit. It's bullshit to stop people from buying gold right now. Buy gold now, because it's the lowest it has ever been, I think, so I'm told. Buy it now. And so it's like you're going against the grain of what the, shall we say, social narrative is. But and I'm not telling you what to do financially. Ask your higher selves, meditate, ask what you should do. Don't take my word from it. We've all got personal journeys. But this is just the truth as to what I've been given about asking certain things about different scenarios. And again, that could be a new distribution of wealth. So this bullshit, this narrative about we've found bacteria that creates gold. Again, it's another last ditch attempt, last claw to be the dominant ones on top. I don't want you having more finances from me, because then it makes me feel unsafe. However, money is a false sense of safety. It really, really is. So community is going to be the new commodity. There's unity in community. So sometimes when we have people that have got our backs and are a similar energy and are a similar ethos, like somebody had my back recently and I'm trying to hold my ground on something and stick up for myself, and somebody came up and helped me voice my sense of safety and security and say no to something. And I felt empowered by this community spirit that kind of like came from behind me and stood next to me, not in front of me, didn't speak up for me, spoke with me, and basically just reiterated what I'd said, but just in a different way that the other person could understand it. So we need to hear things 3 times as human beings to actually take it as truth. So this person helped me speak up, and this person that was trying to dominate me then backed down, because there were multiple voices speaking what we wanted to speak. That was very empowering to me, and it's the first time that I've ever experienced anything like that, because I've always felt like I needed to voice alone. But in community, these voices that were coming up around me felt so beautiful, so empowering, strength like no other. I felt like, you know, kind of I could never be defeated kind of thing. So unity and community, and it's going to be the new commodity. So I asked then, there's more of us than the dominant ones, and it actually said no. So it's each individual It's to see where you're at as an individual. Where is it that I am trying to dominate another to feel safe? And that'll come up in your root chakra. So bone, skeletal system. Where is it that I'm wanting to be on top? Where is it that I'm taking more more than I am giving? Where is it that I am actually, where is it that people feel unsafe in my energy? Or do people feel safe in energy? So again, it's asking all these questions, but these energies are shifting from day to day, hour to hour. So, you know, you can use, I've shown you how to use kinesiology. It's crab claws, make an infinity symbol, you can see. So it will stay strong for yes, because the muscles will say, no, that's strength, that's the truth, I love that, that's great. They will separate if it's false, a lie. Muscles are going, no, not liking that. So the body is always telling you the truth, so use your body. So again, if you are mistrusting your intuition, or, you know, and this is an old program for many intuitives that struggle with it, this is another way to build your trust on how to ask yourself. So you will get to the point where you'll use your intuition and trust yourself enough that you can just ask the questions in your head, and you know that answer will come through. I know that I've still got programs kind of like running the head, so I'll just ask my body and bypass my brain, because I don't trust the programmed head at the moment, so I ask my body. So that's the reason why you do that. You can use this to ask any question about yourself, about your own programming, about your way of beingness at the moment. So this will help build trust back in the relationship with you and yourself. So then if we're tapped in and tuned on, we can never be deceived, because we're always in alignment, we're always in equality, we're always going to be abundant. So there's going to be a redistribution of wealth somehow, in some way. And it's not that every rich person is going to give to a pauper. No, it's not going to be about that. It's kind of like the ones that have been kept in lack. Yes, there has been deceptions around it. So the ones that have been kept in lack, you are going to be allowed to raise. And the ones that have taken and continue to take and give very little back, they will be brought down. So there's going to be more alignment. Again, this could take generations, it could take years, but human beings are very unpredictable. It could be, you know, shorter than that. So it's all down to you and your choices, down to us and our choices as a collective. So it's really be aware of what we are choosing. You know, am I in a job where I'm getting paid loads and loads of money and I'm literally giving hardly anything for that? You know, is it giving back for the greater good, whatever it is that I am doing? And am I giving that in equal amounts of energy to pay? Is a question that we should all asking. If you feel like, well, I'm not really putting enough energy, then there may be a redistribution there. If you feel kind of like, you know, everything that I put in and everything that I give, and I'm getting peanuts back for it, again, your choices from this moment forward could be a new distribution in wealth. Companies that are all about the bottom line, you're not going to exist, you're not going to be around in the future. If you look after your staff and you value your staff and you are looking at the equality energy, you're going to stick around, you're going to be sufficient and you're going to be abundant. And it's, what is it that I'm giving back? Am I getting it, you know, an equal amount as what I'm giving out? And again, you can ask the question, you know, in your whole company, is there equality in my company? Is there equality in my individual practices around my workplace? You know, you can ask all of those questions. Oh, mine was no. I haven't got any staff, so it's just me. So maybe I'm not paying myself enough. Maybe I'm due for a little pay rise or something. Or maybe I need to... There's something... that needs to alter in me anyway. Like I said, we've all got stuff going on, but it's, are we aware of it? Okay. Yeah, so finances may start coming up for many of us. There's many of you in the collective that are choosing not to pay things. So certain organisations getting twitchy. However, it doesn't really matter because it's kind of a low vibrational deal anyway. Are they worried that they're not going to exist much longer? Yeah, so these kind of like financial organisations at the moment are worrying that they're not going to exist much longer because people aren't paying back what they're borrowing. But they have insurance for people who don't pay, so they get paid regardless whether you pay. So they get paid twice. You know, this is why these companies are here. They get paid twice, and this is where they work. You know, they earn all the money from. So they earn the money from the insurance that they put out when you take out a borrowing. So they receive the money straight back as soon as you borrow it. They cannot exist if you do not borrow. They can still exist even if you don't pay back. So as long as you're still borrowing, they're still in existence, even if you do not pay. They don't care if you don't pay, as long as you still keep borrowing. Interesting. Because they're still going to get paid for your borrowing. So it doesn't really matter. So again, it's like the fear factor. Okay, I'm sure there's going to be more information around this that I'll tap into a later date. But health-wise, you know, calling the dragons, nature, drink plenty. Financial-wise, watch this space. Betrayal, inequalities being made equals. There's a lot going on, so give yourself a break if you are feeling discombobulated, and it will all unfold. But check in with yourself and how you are doing. Are you in equal alignment and energy? Where is it that you may be domineering? Where is it that you may be kind of like the other spectrum of that and not commanding your wants, needs, desires? So again, it's bringing in that balance. There'll be raises and falls where it needs to be placed. So real yin-yang balances are coming up at the moment. Real balances in masculine and feminine energies coming up. So there's a real alignment. But things feel out of whack until they come into alignment, and then when you do come into alignment, it's kind of like then you can see where they're out of whack, and you appreciate it. It's not right or wrong. It's just experiences that we're experiencing in order just to experience. You know, we are the explorers for source energy because source energy is just an energy. It's just an energy. It's all that there is. It's not just, but it is not an explorer in the way that human beings are. So we're just explorers. So whatever is going on, forgive yourself. No matter what experience you've held, forgive yourself. But I will leave my love with you. The magic of the dragons and the magic of the universe today. I think it's really warranted, and the magic of the trees and nature, really, really warranted. So I will leave my love with you. Take care.